to Artisan Hill. Many of you are from the neighborhood, so you're familiar with Fulton Hill Studios, and you know that the former Robert Fulton School has been artist studios for quite some time, and that we've had a vision of expanding our presence here in Greater Fulton and integrating more residential opportunities in the neighborhood and mixing it up so that there's not just places for people to live, but there's places for people to gather and eat and work and those kinds of things. So Artisan Hill is going to be a mixed use, mixed income development, and the mixed income piece is composed of 10% of the units being rented to people making 60% of the area median income and 20% of the units being rented to people making 80% of the area median income. And both the VHDA, who's our lender on this project, and the City of Richmond, through a generous grant, have helped us make this a mixed income project. I also want to say that it's the first multifamily project in Greater Fulton that has 70% of the units at market rate. So we have traditionally been the part of the city where a higher than average percentage of the low-income multifamily residential units have been placed, and it's great to mix it up. I think mixed income communities are the healthiest. So you can see over here the renderings. Those of you who live in the neighborhood know what the views are like up here. We're also going to take the ravine and turn it into a field for the Pee Wee Soccer Club and any of the other folks around that need a place to practice, since we took your field away to erect a building. I want to thank everybody for coming, and I particularly want to thank Councilwoman Newbill. If there's ever a war, I want to be in the trench with her. So just some quick specifics about this development. This new portion of our larger community spans more than 6 acres along this historic cobblestone road, which is getting restored partly by the city and will partly be restored by us. That paper portion of Northampton will be improved so that Northampton will connect to Godden and Carlisle. The first phase of construction has begun. As you can see, the footings are going in, thanks to KBS for doing such a great job with that. And the VHDA is our financing partner on this. They are exceptionally well suited for a project like this. It's part of their mission to really have an impact in neighborhoods, so we are grateful to them for helping us make this dream a reality. I guess the most significant thing for me about this project was that the whole neighborhood supported it. I do work in a lot of different neighborhoods. I've been in Churchill, I've been in Boulder, Colorado, I've been in a lot of places, and I've never ever had the experience of being in a neighborhood where people really collaborate, really listen to each other, really share their ideas, and I am extremely grateful to be a long-term resident of and a part of the Greater Fulton community. I really do feel like it's a very special community, and it's exceptional in terms of the collaboration and the way that people who live here work together. I want to introduce someone who is also stridently engaged in improving our community. Cheryl Gross-Wright has been the Executive Director of the Greater Fulton Neighborhood Resource Center since 2012. In addition to her role at the NRC, she's a member of the Executive Committee of the Greater Fulton Civic Association and spearheads many initiatives throughout the community in Richmond. The Neighborhood Resource Center was created to be a positive place in our neighborhood, which had historically just been left on its own. And Cheryl took over the leadership of the NRC after the passing of our friend and the tireless activist Mary Lou Picasso, who founded the center in 2005. So it's my honor and my pleasure to introduce to you my friend and a tireless advocate for our neighborhood, Cheryl Grosswright.
Thank you, Margaret. It's really been a pleasure serving this neighborhood, and I thank you for inviting me to serve in this role today. Yes, the Neighborhood Resource Center is it's in the old post office for those of you who haven't been there, but it's beautiful and well used and full of life. Really 10 to 6 every day, and sometimes on the weekends, and we invite you to come and see all that we do and share with all those that we serve. So thank you so much for this invitation, and I now have the wonderful opportunity to introduce a man who needs generally no introductions, but it's really a pleasure, and I have to say that LeVar Stoney is my favorite mayor so far. He did a really wonderful thing. On the day after he was inaugurated, he wanted to be of service to the city, and we got an email, literally an email, that said, how'd you like the mayor come and help paint your building? We had just been renovated, and we had a painting marathon, 3 days that we painted, and he came and painted an entire wall for us, and it was just one of those. It's still perfect. So he's a person that pulls up his sleeves, digs in, and he has certainly done that for us in Richmond thus far, and I'm looking forward to seeing how much more he has yet to do. He's a community advocate for certain, and we are so proud to have his support, and he comes to Fulton as often as he can. So with that, I'd like to introduce to you Mayor LeVar Stoney.
Let's give another round of applause to Cheryl, please. Talk about someone who's active in the community and lives and breathes everything the city of Richmond and also Fulton as well. Cheryl, thank you for your contributions to our community. I would be remiss, obviously, if I did not also thank my friend, Dr. Cynthia Newbill, the councilwoman from the 7th District as well. She is, not only is she a councilwoman, but she is an advocate every single day. There's no one who works harder than Councilwoman Cynthia Newbill, and thank you for your representation in the East End. Thank you so much. Now, I would be remiss if I did not recognize Margaret Fung, who was up here earlier. Talk about a person who is willing to take a chance, take a risk on the city of Richmond and its neighborhoods, but also put her money where her mouth is as well. I can't think of anyone else out there who's willing to take the steps and be bold about it than Margaret Fung. Let's give her a round of applause as well. The great thing I love about Margaret is that not only does she talk the talk, but she also walks the walk as well. She's a doer. There's a lot of folks you meet in this, a lot of folks you meet in the city who do a lot of talking, but sometimes when you say, all right, I'm done with the talking, tell me about the doing. Ain't too many people going to raise their hands and stand up and say, I'm ready to do it as well. Margaret Foyne does that. And Margaret, I consider myself someone who not just only talks, but also does as well. I want to be a doer. And we, for many, many years, have talked about the need for more affordable housing here in the city of Richmond. The need for inclusionary housing that allows for those who may not make a significant amount of money, but who choose to live their lives right here in the city of Richmond. And this right here is, I think, some intentional work. Partnering with the city, there will be some affordable housing units for mixed income, middle income to low income housing right here on this property right here at Artisan Hill. And I'm very, very excited about that, because you look at the cities that are taking off, they're cities that are not just made of one income bracket. They're cities where people who come from different parts of the stratus who can contribute in their neighborhoods. What I don't want is Richmond to turn into a Washington, D.C., where folks feel like they're closed out from living in their city. I want to see a place where Artisan will allow for firefighters and police officers and nurses and teachers and artists to live right here in the city. They are what make our city so special and so great. The ability for them to raise their families here and live here long term. So when we create places where they can still contribute and also lay their head down at night, it creates safer neighborhoods, and it creates a place where I think folks want to be. And our job in building One Richmond is creating that sense of place where folks can safely live out their God-given talents right here in the city limits and not go anywhere else. That's what this project will do. And Margaret, I want to thank you for your hard work. Obviously, there's a lot more work to be done. This is just dirt right now, but obviously you see the photographs. It's going to be something special. And it's going to allow for folks to actually partake in what makes Richmond so great. So thank you all so much for being here. And I know, Dr. Newell, you're going to speak here next. No? Yes? Well, Dr. Newell, come on up here then. The hardest working woman on Richmond City Council, Dr. Cynthia Newell.
Wow. Now don't kill the mic. Okay, we can work with this. So this is a great day in the district, right?
Yes.
And it's an even greater day in the greater Fulton community, right?
Yes.
Okay, you don't seem excited about this. It is a great day. I want to thank Cheryl. I want to thank the mayor. But I especially want to thank Margaret Fraun. This has been hard work, as my mom would say, if she were here. But she would also say this has been some of the most worthy work and effort that I've had the opportunity to be a part of. Because this work will contribute to revitalizing our community. This work contributes to bringing to our community mixed income housing, market rate housing, quality housing to our community. This project creates employment opportunities for residents and others throughout our community. This project will bring incredible amenities to our community. This project will be catalytic for other development throughout the community. Can you see all those things happen? I look down the road and I see all of this. And so I want to say thank you, Margaret, because you could have chosen to be anywhere in the city or the region or another state for that matter. But you really chose to plant your feet here to say, I'm a part of this community. I will partner with the residents in the community. I will partner with the city of Richmond. I will partner with the businesses in the community and make this the kind of place that will have folks coming from far and wide to take a look at it and use it as a model. So I simply want to thank Margaret. I want to thank all of you who've been a part of this, the Ottos and Diane and others that I see, John in the background, and those who've hung in terms of being resident in the property here, and those of you who will be a part of the new growth and development. And so I'm excited. I'm excited. This is great. Do you see the renderings here? This is going to be just a statement project in our city, in our region. And so I am just so proud and pleased to have been a part of the overall effort, and look forward to all that will come. So thank you for all of your involvement. Thank you for Margaret for all that you have done. Thank you for all that you'll continue to do in the community and the city. And look forward to all of our work together. Thank you.
No. We can do that. She's right. I'm sure there.